Fashion and clothes in general is a really cool thing because it's a way that we can express ourselves and, figure out like who we are and what we like and the kind of style that we have. But on the other side of the coin, I've recently been learning quite a bit more about the real cost of fashion, and particularly something called fast fashion. So today I'm going to talk about fashion and the clothes that we wear, and in particular the places that we choose to shop for the clothes that we wear. Fashion and clothes in general is a really cool thing because it's a way that we can express ourselves and, figure out like who we are and what we like and the kind of style that we have, and express our creativity. I think it's a really positive thing in society. But on the other side of the coin, I've recently been learning quite a bit more about the real cost of fashion, and particularly something called fast fashion. So if you think of places where you usually shop, like Primark, New Look, Topshop, H&M, Forever 21, those kind of shops, they would all be counted as fast fashion. I never really knew what that meant or what that was before. I think that that's crazy because clothes is such a huge part of our lives, and it's such a normal thing to do, to go out and buy new clothes, especially every time there's a new season or every time we go on holiday, we'll buy some holiday clothes, that kind of thing. And it's a sociable thing. And it's a fun thing and it's exciting. And before, I never really stopped to think about the impact of that or where these clothes even came from. And the more I learn about it, the more I realise that I really should pay attention to the clothes that I buy and who made them and what the actual cost of those clothes that I'm buying is. So what opened my eyes to this issue is I watched a documentary called The True Cost, and it's on Netflix if you've got Netflix. If not, you can type it into Google, and I think there's a website for it. And it's basically a documentary. They talk about basically the supply chain of fast fashion, and all the way from the people picking the cotton to the shops like H&M selling the items. I think overall the message that I took from this documentary is that we as Western society buy too many clothes and we don't pay anywhere near enough for them, and that's become normal to us. We all love a bargain. It's true that a lot of us couldn't afford to buy the amount of clothes that we buy if we were shopping somewhere other than fast fashion chains. So there's a reason that Forever 21 and H&M and New Look are so affordable. And unfortunately, that reason is that the people making the clothes are being exploited. And I didn't know anything about this until recently. And once I learned it, I had to ask myself if, as a Christian, I was okay with supporting that kind of thing. And I think that the answer is no. So at the beginning of 2018, I did something that was really difficult for me to do because I personally love fashion. I love clothes. I love expressing myself that way. But I decided not to buy any new clothes at all. So it's March now and I've lasted 3 months, and it's actually been way easier than I thought it would be. It's basically just about finding new places to shop. But I'm just going to go through a couple of reasons why I decided to stop buying new clothes. So as I said before, I watched this documentary. I think watching the documentary showed me or revealed to me how out of touch I actually was. So there was a huge cognitive dissonance for me between buying the clothes and the people who made the clothes, and I just never thought about those people. In 2013, in a place called Rana Plaza in Bangladesh, a sweatshop collapsed and it killed lots of women, especially women, but it killed lots of people who were working there, and it was all over the news. And there was a big uproar about it for a while. It was awful, and it's worth watching it because it really does show you the conditions that people have to work in to make these clothes that we're buying for so cheap. 80% of fast fashion items were made by women aged 18 to 24, which makes this issue a women's issue, and it means that supporting fast fashion disempowers women. These women work for 6 months to make the amount of money that a fashion CEO makes on their lunch break. These women get on average £2.20 a day for working all day, often 14-hour shifts, that's the average shift, for £2.20 a day. They're exposed to sexual harassment at work. Cheap clothes are made by girls as young as 14 who work these long shifts, these 14-hour shifts, and make only £2.20 a day. And yeah, they're exposed to sexual harassment at work and really awful working conditions. But the thing about this film is that it's not a guilt trip, so it doesn't present it in a way that's like, you have caused this, you're supporting this, that kind of thing. It's really trying to open our eyes to the truth of what actually goes on in these places, and just kind of presents us with the invitation to do something about it. So it's saying, did you know that this happens? Did you know that fast fashion disempowers women? Did you know that fast fashion is the second leading cause of climate change, the second largest polluter in the world? As Christians, I think it's important for us to be thinking about how we can make the world a better place and how we can use our money in a really wise, positive way, and also how we can set an example for other people, for the people surrounding us. A lot of fast fashion doesn't last that long, and because we buy it so often, we give it away quite a lot to charity shops, but only 10% of clothes that are given to charity shops actually end up being sold, and the rest go to landfill. And in the UK alone, 235 million items of clothing go to landfill every single year. There are literally mountains of discarded clothes in Haiti, and these clothes will sit there for 200 years and leak out harsh chemicals and dyes, and these will seep into the ground, and it's really toxic for the area. So you might be thinking, but I can't afford to give up fast fashion, I won't have any clothes to wear. That's not necessarily true either. I thought the same thing. I thought it'd be really expensive, but what I found is that I'm buying less clothes, I'm working with the clothes that I've already got more, and I'm also learning to shop secondhand. There's a site called ThreadUp where you can shop secondhand, and there is an app called Depop where I got some Topshop jeans for £6. It's actually saved me a lot of money because I've bought less things, and the things that I have bought have actually been cheap because they've been secondhand. Don't let your preconceived notions of charity shops put you off. You just have to be willing to look a little bit harder. Same with things like vintage stores or kilo stores. It's a lot easier than people think, and you can actually express your style in a really cool and unique way. One of the best things that you could take away from this video is a quote that I found by Vivienne Westwood, who said, "Buy less, choose well, and make it last." So that is the video for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Music and life to the full. xRhythms.